VERBS. Today we are going to do conjugating regular verbs in the present tense. So we are going to look at conjugating regular verbs in the present tense. To conjugate means to give the different forms of a verb depending on the subject. English only has 2 regular conjugations in the present tense, no ending and S ending. So what I can say about this is, in German, for you to be able to use a verb, this is where the conjugation comes in. The conjugation gives the word the different form of our verb depending on the subject. Okay, so we have the subjects here written in English. So the first one is I, then we have you, we, and then we have they. So for these ones, in English, they have no ending. For example, I run, you run, we run, they run. And then we have an S ending, which we have examples of he and she and it. So he runs, she runs, and it runs. So this applies also in German. For example, I want to use the word come. In English is I come, you come, we come, they come. But when it is he, she, and it, we say he comes, she comes, it comes. Okay. To conjugate regular verbs in German, we remove the en ending from the verb, and then we add the following endings. Okay, so though some of the verbs require spelling changes, in addition to adding these endings. So as I explain this, all German verbs, they have the en ending. Can you look at the table below? Just look at the ending, the words at the end, en. Arbeiten, begin, bekommen, they all have en ending. So we are told to conjugate these regular verbs, we have to remove the ending and add the following ending. So the following endings are these ones. So what they mean is, okay, we have a, we have st, we have te, we have an, we have te, and we have an. So these words go according to the subject. So let me go to the previous page and explain again. So in German, we also have the subjects that we have here. So the first subject is normally ich, ich, which means I. So if I say ich, I mean I. So these ones are personal pronouns. These are the subjects. And then the second one is du, which means you in the informal form. Then we go to er, which means he. Then we have sie, S-I-E. Okay, I haven't spelled er. Er is E-R. Er. Then we have sie, small s-I-E-Z, means she. Then we have S, E for egg, S, or es, which means it in English. So at the beginning, we have ich, which is I, du, which is you informal, er, er, which means he, sie, with a small s at the beginning is she, s, which means it. Then you go to wir, W-I-R, wir means we. Then you have I-H-R, small I-H-R, ihr, which means you all, you all. I can also put them as them. And then lastly, we have a capital Z, S, capital S-I-E, which means you in the formal form. And then we have a small s-I-E, which means they. This is in the plural. So how we are going to relate this? For the first one, you have the am ende. Am ende means at the end. So for ish, if anytime you're going to use ish, your verb is going to have at the end. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove the ending. Remove the ending and then we add the following ending. So we're going to add e. So for example, let me start with the word antworten. Antworten. Antworten, to answer. I have to make a sentence. So I want to say, I answer my phone. Okay, I am answering my phone. So it's in the present tense. So these verbs are in the present tense. So in German, I have to conjugate the verb antworten. So the first thing I need to do, I need to identify the stem of the verb and the ending of the verb. So the stem will be antwort. Antwort. And then en is my ending. So I'm going to remove the ending and I'm left with the stem, which is antwort. So if I have ish, I'm going to have am ende. Meine, okay, let me make a sentence for it to make sense. Ich antworte mein Handy. Ich antworte mein Handy. I answer my phone. So because of ich, my verb is antworte. I have placed the E at the end. Then du is going to take st at the end. So I'm still going to use my same sentence, but I'll place my subject. So st is used with do. So do is normally informal. So I want to say you answer my phone. Okay. So it's going to be du antwortest mein Handy. So if you can see with ish, the verb was ending with e. For do, the verb is now ending with st. Let's try with he, she, it. He, she, it, they are normally placed together as zs because they all use the same verb, the same type of verb. He, she, and it, when you're conjugating it with any verb, it's going to take the same verb. He will take the same verb as she and it. So for my sentence, I'll say, let me start with he. He answers my phone. It's going to be antwortet mein Handy. Then from there, we go to wir. So wir is we. Wir, the ending is going to be en. So I'm here. So I'll say, wir antworten, we answer my phone. Wir antworten mein Handy. Then the next one is ja. Ja is going to take the T at the end. So it's going to be ja antwort ihr antwortet mein Handy. And then lastly, I'll say Sie, the one with capital S-I-E. So this one, I'm going to use it in two ways. I'm going to use it in the formal and the informal. So for the formal, it's going to be Sie antworten mein Handy. And then this is you answer my phone. In plural will be they answer my phone. So it's going to be Sie antworten, sorry, with the en ending. Sie antworten mein Handy. So again, to conjugate regular verbs in German, we remove the en ending from the verb, and then we add the following endings depending on the subject. So if it's ich, when you're talking about yourself, you will always put the e at the end of a verb. If you're talking about someone else, you, but in the informal form, you're going to put an st. If you're talking about he, she, it, you're going to put t at the end of a verb. En is for wir, which is we in plural. Ihr, we're going to have the T at the end, and lastly, the capital S-I-E. We're going to have the en ending. So we have a list here with some of the verbs I'm going to take you through. I'm going to give you only a few examples, but not all of them. So it's up to you to try and be able to at least conjugate and know these verbs. So the next verb is arbeiten. Let me conjugate it for you. Ich arbeite, du arbeitest. Er, sie, es arbeitet. Wir arbeiten, ihr arbeitet. Sie arbeiten. Beginnen, to begin. Ich beginne, du beginnst. Er, sie, es beginnt. Wir beginnen, ihr beginnt. Sie beginnen. Bekommen, to get. Ich bekomme, du bekommst. Er, sie, es bekommt. Wir bekommen, ihr bekommt. Sie bekommen. Benutzen, to use. Ich benutze mein Handy. I use my phone. So ich benutze, du benutzt. Er, sie, es benutzt. Wir benutzen, ihr benutzt. Und sie benutzen. Besuchen, to visit. Ich besuche meine Familie. Visit my family. So ich besuche, du besuchst. After CH, you add ST. Er, sie, es besucht. Wir besuchen, ihr besucht. Sie besuchen. Bezahlen, to pay. Ich bezahle für das Rindersteak. I pay for the Rindersteak. Rindersteak is meat, beef. So I'll say, ich bezahle, du bezahlst. Er, sie, es bezahlt. Wir bezahlen, ihr bezahlt, sie bezahlen. Machen, to do or to make something. So, ich mache mein Bett. I make my bed. Jeden Tag. So, machen, ich mache, du machst. Er, sie, es macht. Wir machen, ihr macht, and lastly, sie machen. So the rest I would like you to try and conjugate them by yourself and be able to challenge yourself to learn these verbs, because these are the very common verbs. So we have rauchen, to smoke, reisen, to travel, reisen, to travel, rennen, to run, rufen, to call, sagen, to say, bleiben, to remain or to stay as well, brauchen, to need, dauern, to last, denken, to think, entdecken, to discover, erfinden, to invent, ergänzen, to complete, erlauben, to permit, erzahlen, to tell, essen, to eat. So something about these verbs, not all of them are regular. The ones that have the star, those are the irregular verbs. So they have mixed some of them. For example, essen is not regular. So this one, when you're conjugating it, you'll need help from me. So these ones, we'll look at them again when we'll be looking at the irregularities in verbs. So we have finden, to find, fischen, to fish, fliegen, to fly, fragen, to ask, gehen, to go, gewinnen, to win, glauben, to believe or to think, schlafen, to sleep, schreiben, to write, schwimmen, to swim, sehen, to see, singen, to sing, sitzen, to sit, sparen, to save money, stecken is to put, stehen is to stand, studieren, to study, suchen, to search for, tanzen, to dance, treffen, to meet, trennen, to separate, trinken, to drink, verdienen, to earn money, vergessen, to forget, helfen, to help, kaufen, to buy, kennen, to know people, kommen, to come, laufen is to run, lehren is to teach, lernen, to learn, lieben, to love, liegen, to lay, verlieren, to lose, versprechen, to promise, verstehen, to understand, warten, to wait, waschen, to wash, winken, to wave, wischen, to wipe, function, to desire or to wish, and lastly, sehen, to move. So English has 3 ways of expressing the present tense, such as I run, I am running, I do run. So they all be the same thing. In the present tense, yeah, I run. I am running, you're doing it right now. I do run. Yeah, so that is in the present tense. All 3 of these tenses are translated as one tense in German. Okay, so ich laufe means I run, or I am running, or also I do run. Okay, so in German, sentences are normally not fixed. So however, you can add gerade after the verb to indicate the possessive form. For example, ich mache mein Hausaufgaben can be translated as I do my homework. Ich mache. Mache, we have looked it up there. It means to make something or to do something. So ich mache, I do. Meine Hausaufgaben. Meine is my. Hausaufgaben is homework. So it's like direct translated. I do. Ich mache. Meine Hausaufgaben, my homework. Or it can be translated to I'm doing my homework. Then ich mache gerade meine Hausaufgaben is translated as I'm doing my homework, like right now. Okay, when you add gerade, you make it like in the moment, currently. So that will be all with the regular verbs. Dankeschön.